Well, here's a job where you don't have to have a college degree, don't need any specific experience, can be any age and gender, and you can make $100,000 to $200,000 a year, and if you're great, even more than that. Also, the job is totally fun. You're not stuck in an office, and every day you get to meet someone new and see how they live in their own homes. You're out and about visiting new areas and cities, and you don't have to put up with any BS from a supervisor watching over everything you do and trying to micromanage you. Oh, and by the way, out of a training class of 8 people, 2 or 3 of them are still standing 90 days later. And if you take 9 of the 3 people that made it 90 days, 4 of them will make it past the year. So why is the turnover so high? That sounds horrible. Well, it's horrible for everybody but the 5 out of the roughly 30 that made it after a year. They get all the good stuff I mentioned above. I've been training and selling home improvements for 35 years, and these are the real numbers. To be fair, every person I hired, I told the truth to and left it up to them to figure out if they wanted to get into this. The good part is if you do it right, it's one of the best jobs in the world if you love sales. Now, this is not meant to discourage you, but to wake you up if necessary so you can be the 10% who do it. Anything you do that pays well, whether it's NBA, self-made millionaires, the money goes to the top performers. The only one who controls whether you'll be one of them is you, and it starts by you making the decision. Here are 3 reasons people fail at selling home improvements. If you don't like the way that sounds, just do the opposite of all these, and you can get the 3 reasons why people are successful selling home improvements. Please listen to all 3 to make sure you'll make it. The first reason people fail is they don't realize how hard it's really going to be. It should be obvious, but if you can make $100,000 to $200,000 a year, by definition, it's hard. Today you get paid based on the difficulty of replacing you. If you do something easy that everyone can do, like flip a burger, they pay you minimum wage. If you can do something not everybody can do, they're going to pay you more money. If you can do something that only a few people can do, they're going to pay you a lot of money. On paper, the job sounds good. You just go to people's homes, you talk to them, and you show them what you do and they buy. The reality is that it's a lot harder than that. So by not realizing how hard this is, people don't put in the effort and don't have the right expectations of what they're going to have to do to make that money. The reality in life is that nothing worthwhile is easy, and nothing that pays you a lot of money is easy. The sucker bet is that everyone's always looking for the easy way to make money, from the real estate infomercials you saw on TV, make $1 million in 90 days, to the YouTube videos today telling you how to make $1,000 a day, doing nothing. There's no such thing. People are always trying to find something that doesn't exist. Easy money with no work. I always tell people, if you can find an easier place to make $150,000 a year with less BS and less hassle, tell me and I'll be there with you. The reality is that there isn't. Again, we're talking about making over 6 figures in this job. It's not that hard to make $60,000 a year doing this, but I don't think making that much money justifies the effort like the driving and night and weekend work. But why would you want to make $60,000 a year if you can make 2 or 3 times that amount doing the same amount of physical activity, but just doing it right? So here's one trap not realizing it's going to be hard creates. First of all new people sell. They don't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're selling, but they're excited. And since sales is just a transfer of enthusiasm, they're enthusiastic and they make sales, and then they and their managers think that they know how to do this. In a lot of cases, they even stop learning and improving because they think that they're there. The reality is that after 30 or 90 days, that initial enthusiasm dies down, and if you don't have a strong foundation, you're not going to have what it takes to do this consistently enough to have a career from this. Now, if you fooled yourself into thinking this job is going to be easy, once you've run into the adversity after the first 90 days, you get frustrated and a lot of people quit here. If you aren't ready for it to be hard and willing to pay the price, you realize it too late and the adversity kills you. You don't have the persistence necessary to put in the time and the blood, sweat, and tears you need to be successful. Now, the second reason people aren't successful is they don't understand or not wanting to put in the time to studying and learning how to do this right. The key is to work on yourself with self-improvement to get better and learn how to do this ASAP. If you wait too long, you may not be able to afford to continue working there. You have to study and learn how to be good at this type of sales from the beginning. So if you didn't realize how hard this would be, then you're not ready to put in the work. Another reason new and established salespeople don't practice self-improvement is the one word that is their biggest strength and their biggest weakness: ego. They think that, well, I'm already a great salesperson. I don't have to put any work in. Wrong. Unless you've made a living doing this specific type of sales, you don't know how. This job is different than any other type of sales job you had. You walk into a total stranger's home, you're meeting them for a couple hours, and then you're getting them to spend tens of thousands of dollars in one visit. Yes, you need the people skills you had in the other sales jobs, such as being able to talk to strangers or sell features and benefits. But even that can be different in this type of job because most sales jobs don't have you talking to an 80-year-old widow in the afternoon and a bank president in the evening and asking for money in one visit. And this also applies to the ego of an experienced rep saying, well, I've been selling it for 10 years and I'm already there. You're never there. For you to stop learning is like saying, well, I don't want to make any more money than I am right now. A simple test to see how good you are in this type of business is to look at your paycheck. That tells you how good you are. The good part is that you can change your paycheck by becoming better. There's so many ways that you can improve yourself today, from going to YouTube, listening to tapes, buying books, or talking to other people already successful in our field. It's all there for you, but you have to make the effort and actually implement it for you to get better. You're not making enough money because you're not good enough yet. You can't depend and expect on just your company training. You have to put in your own time. Have the mentality of someone who's self-employed. Who cares about you more, the company or you? If you want more on this topic, I've included a link on the one thing you must do to make more money selling home improvements below. The third reason that people don't make it, I know it's not something a lot of people talk about, but in their heart, they don't believe in their product and what they're charging for it. You sell windows for $1,500 or $2,000 a piece, but in your mind, you're thinking, well, they can go and buy these for $400 at Home Depot. You sell kitchens for $40,000 or $50,000, but you know they can go to IKEA and buy cabinets for $6,000. A lot of times the reason is as simple as that you don't understand the difference in the product quality, and there's a huge difference between a stick-built particle board cabinet from IKEA to a solid wood construction cabinet with dovetail drawers that changes the cost. The other reason is that you're trying to compare the intrinsic value to the price you're selling for. Do you really think a Rolex watch costs $10,000 to make? The reality is that the parts and labor cost about $1,000. What do you think a $50,000 car actually costs for parts and labor? I'd be surprised if it was more than $15,000. But you're forgetting all the other costs involved, such as the overhead, the marketing, your commission, etc. It's very common for a professional remodeling company to take the parts and labor and triple it to get their gross margin. Have you thought about the fact that if you sell something for $10,000, and that if it typically takes 5 leads that cost a minimum of $150 a piece to convert to a net installed sale, that means the lead cost on that $10,000 job is $750 right off the bat. And if you're getting paid 10% commission, there's another $1,000. So in a $10,000 job, you've already got $1,750 in just the lead cost and your commission, not counting what it's going to cost in the material and labor, along with the overhead, the insurance, the administration, and the service work that comes from the guarantees or warranties. It's not uncommon after all that even if your parts and labor cost $3,000 and you sell it for $9,000, that you're lucky if you get a net profit of 10%. And what you're selling to people is more than just the window. There's a lot of other things like peace of mind. If somebody buys a kitchen for $20,000 and 4 years from now it's already starting to fall apart and they have no warranty and they have to buy another one, is that really a better deal than the kitchen cost them $30,000 and lasts 10 years? What is the value of the peace of mind that you can call your company and get warranty work? That they have a service department? That they provide financing? That you can call them and you're not getting some contractor's voicemail with a little girl saying, "Daddy's not home. Please leave a message." Peace of mind is just one of the things that's a huge value that's not part of the intrinsic value. Look at it this way. If you had windows that cost $20,000 and they were from a company you never heard of and they gave a lifetime warranty, and yet you had another company that sold you windows that you thought were pretty much the same for $22,000, but you knew that they've been around for 50 years and they had a lifetime warranty and the reviews were stellar, wouldn't you pay the extra $2,000 or 10% more just for the peace of mind? I think you would, and that alone would be worth a 10% difference in your price. So if you don't believe in the value and quality of your product, you don't have it in your heart to be as aggressive as you need to be, as if you really felt you were helping the customer and not ripping them off. You can't really transfer that feeling of true enthusiasm you have to have for your product in order to sell. More importantly, if you feel like you're lying to them, then you're lying to yourself every day, and it's not good for your soul. If you really can't get past what you're selling your product for, then you need to get another job. And that's with love, because you'll never make it. So again, accept it's hard and be ready to pay your dues. Always work on making yourself better. And have a real belief that you're improving the quality of life for someone when you sell them.